Right.
I hit it.
I was like,
it did.
You know that little cloud in the cartoons when it'd be like, come here.
I was my BTS videos. I just started cracking up. Like, Charlie, are you high? I do look high as fuck that video. Oh no.
Well, hello, everybody.
Were you live?
Yes.
We
live now.
We live now.
Oh God.
But like I said, though, the Lord had, man, in many ways blessed me. Hallelujah.
Won't he do it?
Yes,
Won't
He will.
I love stuff we be talking about before these. That's crazy.
All right. So, hi, everybody. Thank you so much for coming through. It's been a while. It has been a while, but we're back. We're back. We are talking about what if the series as a whole. The last episode came out today, so we're talking about the whole series, and we'll do our non-spoiler review like we normally do. We'll do our non-spoiler review. Someone playing it? We'll do our non. I'm hearing an echo.
What
That was
the
my
hell?
fault. That was my fault. I had to stream. You still hear it?
Oh.
I was like, okay. I was like,
I thought I was tripping.
I don't.
I left Discord. I
was going to the video because I was like, I'm on my other channel.
Oh, that's what the.
Oh my goodness.
I heard Dulup. I was like, what is that? What was that?
I thought that was me, man.
I know what that was.
That's funny. Well, you know what? Let me hang up the Discord call because
We don't need it, right?
We don't need it. We don't need it.
Yeah, let me hang it
up. Go ahead and hang up Charlie because I hear it. All right, there we go.
1 second, guys.
Wait, okay, never mind.
Yeah, I was like, let me wait till you hang up because I hear doop, and that's going through the stream. But anyways, we're doing the whole series as a whole. So that's all 9 episodes. We'll do our non-spoiler section, which you know how we normally do, and then we'll dive into spoilers and our feels and everything about the episodes as a whole. So you know, before we start, you know, even though we don't have any other pre-topics that we're going to be talking about, how have you guys been doing? You know, I haven't seen you guys in forever.
I know. We've been in the gym, so that's pretty much.
We've been in the gym.
We've been going to the gym every day, except for like what?
Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, Friday and Saturday.
Sometimes we
sometimes Saturday, but
yeah, sometimes we'll go. Yeah.
Okay. Charlie, what about you?
I know y'all see the games. Look at that.
Look at it. Oh, I see the muscles. I see the muscles.
That look like She-Hulk.
You know what? I feel like Hercules when I do mine. They're not as like defined muscles, but I just feel like Hercules. That's how I feel like right now. Charlie, you were saying, how are you doing?
Oh, basically same thing, but only thing I'm in and out the gym every other day. Just been chilling, working. I'm saying get stuff done. Been in 3 funerals this year already. Nothing major.
Yikes. Nothing major. Nothing major at all.
Major.
Not at all.
I didn't go to the 4th one, but I'm good.
That's good.
Okay.
That's good. Our condolences. Mm-hmm. That hurt my heart a little bit. We'll get back to the.
That was a little sad.
Yeah, it was. But it's sad because of the reality and the unfortunate thing. Like even when I'm on Instagram, I'm seeing more people like posting pamphlets from like Awake, and I'm just like, that's my got to get off Instagram right now.
Right.
Obituaries.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the obituary that they show like at like a wake or a funeral.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like it's not even just like COVID stuff. Like somebody lost somebody for a car accident. Someone's family member got murdered, like from something else, you know. And it's been celebrities.
Reality check for me this year. I'll say that much. Like this year has been like a reality freaking check.
Yeah.
Well, I was like, dude, losing 4 people. I was like, man, this is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
It is. Turning around to better news and things like that. Yeah. we have a lot of fun things. Oh, well, y'all be seeing us a lot today because we got this, and then later tonight we're playing something. Don't say it yet, but it will play. We're gonna be playing something
It's
fun.
not what we played yesterday. Even though I want to play that again so bad.
I do, bruh. Like I was watching people stream it yesterday. I was just like trolling people, like it's game of the year, just so they download it, and then they started streaming it. And
Nickelodeon All Stars, whatever.
I was like, it's game of the year.
I was
like,
just
really?
I'm like,
yeah.
this game, you know, I still hate the health system, but I still love the game. Like this game,
it's still fun. Yeah,
it's still fun. Yeah, it's still fun.
It's fun, especially when people are talking trash. And the fun thing about it was like seeing people like, man, don't get the game. And then after they got it and they were playing it, the people were like, this game kind of hard. Like, oh, these characters. I was like, yes, give it a chance, people. Give it a chance.
It's definitely like a watered down Smash, but I love it though.
It's fun though. It's like it's simple, but it's fun.
Did y'all play it again? I know you said y'all was gonna
play. No, not yet, Jim.
No, you did, Dwayne. You definitely played.
Oh, I was playing arcade. I was just playing arcade. But yeah, like that was after the stream. But today I haven't played it today.
I haven't touched it.
Yeah.
Okay. I definitely texted somebody for a showdown. I want a 1v1 people.
Was it ego?
Wow, I say it was an ego.
No, it wasn't ego. It wasn't ego. But I will be 1v1ing him. I won't do Toph with him.
I told you. I want 1v1 from everybody.
I saw the tweet too because he was like, "Ego, I want my 1v1."
I want my 1v1 from all of y'all. I want a 1v1.
I got you.
I want a 1v1.
I'm gonna get y'all with April. April, my girl now.
Nah, Corey, I'm about to master Corey. Y'all gonna get what off the map.
SpongeBob and
Patrick.
SpongeBob and Sandy today. So far, I'm liking both of them.
Sandy is an issue. Sandy's an issue.
Head up.
That's her destiny.
Ego don't need that.
Oh no.
Oh
no.
The more like shout out like
the ego. Oh dang it.
The thing I would have to say is shout out to you because that video was hilarious, bro. That video was hilarious. I like a lot of the memes that came, like even when the Old Spice man was like, he's like, you cheated. He's like,
I'm so glad he got the first 7 matches. The first 7 matches, I destroyed this.
No, that's what I was watching. I was watching the first 7 minutes, and then he kept on getting him in a corner, and then all you hear is Ego like, wait, hold up a second,
man.
wait.
But when
no.
He started the video when it was already 0 and he was already 0-7. I was like, what? Because if you have the first match, you see it'll show I'm 0-8. I just say I'm 8-0. I like he cut out the first 7 matches, boy. Like
you gotta make yourself look good. You gotta get the highlights. You gotta get the highlights.
I didn't know that.
It was no highlights for him.
That's hilarious.
I was like, I don't even remember how to play, bro. How am I winning?
This man. But yeah, so getting into what if, right?
Did Charlotte watch it?
You know I watched it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's why I was like, let's start off right there. Then he watched that.
I knew like going in that he
it wasn't live action. He don't mess with live action. He don't mess with animated.
Well, so we never talked about it.
But that's when we started. I was like, are we talking about anything else? When you was like just whatever, I was like, oh, maybe I should have backed out of this one. I did not watch it.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I do want to know this, Charlie. When does Chucky come out?
October 12th.
Everything's coming out.
I gotta get my tickets. Oh no, I forgot.
Wait, isn't it a show? Is it a show?
It's a show.
Oh wait, I'm thinking about Halloween movies.
Oh yeah, Halloween.
Yeah. Halloween's coming. Yeah. So we're definitely gonna have that episode where we talk about all the horror.
Is it coming on demand?
No, that's
I don't know.
That's an actual movie.
It's exclusive in theaters, I think.
I'm going to see that shit. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
I've never watched any of the Halloween
every pill
movies.
he gets stronger. I'm like, what?
And his music and his
is he not a regular man?
At this point,
he's a human.
No.
He is
at this point, no.
Psychotic as shit, and he's really freaking strong.
But like, how is he surviving that? How is he surviving that fire?
So that wasn't him. It's a few times they break down a show like where you thought it was him inside that murder scene, whatever. Like for example, like when the car hit him at the end of which one? But he was like at the end of that pole, and it came by, and she cut his head off because it wasn't Michael. Michael has switched his mask with the other guy because he's real smart too. He's psychotic, smart, and strong as shit. but he switched his switched the outfit with the other guy. So when that way, when the car hit him, the dude couldn't talk and say, "Hey, it's me," because he was switched between the cars. Wow. So
so he be switching out with people.
Yeah, he'll do that, or you just won't, or you won't, or you would just do something that's not strong enough that was strong enough to actually kill him.
Yeah,
but I love it. I love it.
Has she never shot him? Like
he's been shot.
He eat those.
In scary movies, people do shit like this in scary movies. They're like, bam, shoot you, and then they'll drop the gun. Just
that's stupid. That's
empty the clip.
No, I'm like, bam, 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 bam.
No, like confirm, kill, confirm.
Right.
What they say, one in the head, two in the chest. I mean, maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Like the whole clip in their head, and I'm hitting the kneecap.
I see somebody watching Hitman assassination videos on YouTube.
Oh my goodness!
And today we're gonna show you get good fast how to confirm your kill.
They said how many bullets you had.
Hey, buddies, it's today.
And we gotta get on task, bro. We gotta get on task because we be going everywhere.
Not bad.
That's a nice little pre-talk to let the people come in.
Right.
We haven't seen each other's faces in a while, together.
I mean, we just saw each other yesterday.
Well,
I saw y'all get one shot off the map yesterday. So
I didn't see y'all. I heard y'all.
Oh, you heard? Yeah. Okay, you heard.
Unless you're stream hopping like Charlie.
Yeah,
like he doing right now. Let me stop.
Hey, stream starting to fight. Yeah, you'll get whooped.
Too busy like looking. All right, go to your stream. But yeah, okay. So obviously don't worry, Charlie, I'm not gonna jump on you about this. It wasn't, we didn't pre-talk or nothing about it. So nothing to worry about. Plus I see you're already in the chat already. So Jazz and Dwayne, for you guys, the series as a whole, because since we're doing the whole thing, what would be your rating and then like your phrase to describe the season?
I'm gonna let you go first, Jazz.
I gotta think about it because some of the episodes I felt was kind of boring, but a lot of some of them I thought was really good. So like I'm not gonna lie, the first episode, without spoiling stuff, first episode they launched the series with Snoozer. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that one was boring.
Yeah.
Okay, for you to start a new series off with that boring episode compared to the other ones, I feel like that was a mistake. But I think I could rate it. I rated it an 8.
The series as a whole 8. Okay,
solid 8. Yeah, because there were some episodes that were really, really good that made up for the sucky ones, and like some were just like plainly just suckish. Like I fell asleep on one of them like a few times, and Dwayne knows which one that was. Like, I was just like falling asleep over and over, and I was trying to pay attention, but I just fell asleep. I could not.
Okay,
I agree.
So yeah, he has shared his rating. That's his rating right there. So Dwayne, what about you?
Oh yeah, I agree with Jazz. Without spoiling anything, I gave it an 8. Like I said, the first episode was kind of like a retreading of what we got. It's just a slight variation, and I guess that's what the series is. It's called What If. Something slight can be.
She didn't even make stuff that different though. Like
it didn't. It really didn't. I mean, it's just
like, it's just her.
Yeah. So, but like that later on the line, like we had some what ifs that were actually some surprisings, and we're like, oh, okay, that's dope. So, like you said, the first episode was a snooze fest, and then as the episodes went on, it got better and better and better and better.
And you said what was your number again?
Oh, mine was 8 as well. I gave it an 8. I gave it a solid 8.
Okay. I would say, I think I would stay in the realm of like 8, 8.5, as a feeling. I think this is one of the first times we were like, normally we're meant to be opposites. If I rate high, y'all are low. If y'all are low, I'm high, or if I'm low, y'all are high. But today we're kind of around the same.
I gotta go.
You said what, Charlie?
What's the saying? I was thinking of when they go high, we go low. I was thinking that.
Oh yeah. Michelle Obama. So in this situation, I would say I'm about the same, around an 8. My phrase to kind of explain the series is, it reminded me why I love Marvel. I'll say that. I do agree that there was some Some episodes I honestly could have done without. Some episodes were hella boring. I'm not gonna lie. But each episode had something that interested me, you know, at least in that respect. It's funny how some episodes in this animation were longer than the live action shows, but I mean, I ain't gonna fault nobody about that.
In that bag, huh?
I just want to put that out there. It's funny how that could happen. But I do agree. I feel like some things were really, really freaking good, like really well executed. And then some things, so it kind of had like a flow. It had a flow.
Yeah.
For sure. Before we get into our spoilers, okay, we're gonna get into our spoilers. Test your horns. I don't know. Will they work this way? Hey.
Okay.
Because I'm not using Discord to OBS this time. We're using the StreamYard, so
it
works better.
Good that time.
Yeah.
Everybody
heard it. Okay.
Too. All right. So, all right. Spoiler. You have been warned.
Clear today.
Right. Loud.
Praise the Lord. Praise the horn God.
Hallelujah. Won't he do it?
Yes, he will.
That's why.
What'd you say?
It's all because of that good Lord talk he was doing before stream. That's fine.
Yes, bro.
I'm the one talking. That's hilarious. With the how are we on topic right now? With the first episode was what if, or well, I'm not gonna say the what if each time, but Captain Carter were the what? Okay, I guess I have to. What if Captain Carter were the first Avenger? Right?
Boring.
Right? Boring. That's what it was.
Boring.
I actually liked it. I will say the things I agree with. Right? I don't think they should have started with this because when I saw it, I was like, okay, you know, is this the benchmark of the series?
Yes.
Right? And then I do agree that not a lot was really different from her episode. There was like a couple of things that may have been a little bit different, but for the most part, it really followed a lot of the same beats, and it didn't garner to me enough to make this like a whole show thing.
Right.
I
don't feel like she needed a whole episode to me. I feel like she could have just like popped up in somebody else's episode and would have been like, oh, okay, so she's the one instead of him, and it would have been exactly the same because nothing happened.
I got an interesting idea. You know, I think it was like the fact that they like probably knew that this wasn't the strongest episode, but they wanted her to be a part of it. And so they was like, we're just gonna get the weakest episode out first, so then we could just ramp things up, you know, like, you know,
so my thing is that you're trying to catch the attention of people. Like, if somebody like doesn't even know anything about Marvel, anything, and they're their first Marvel show they're watching, they will be bored out of their mind and not understand why we are watching stuff like this and be like, what is this? Why are y'all so hype over this? Like, because it's so boring.
Well, that's anybody in any fandom. If you just start joining in anything, then you won't know what's going on.
What's happening?
Real quick though, Peacock said actually, just real quick, just to go back on that, Halloween Kills actually is going to be streaming on Peacock the first day.
It is.
It will be
finished up. Yeah.
What date is that movie coming out?
The 15th.
Okay, remind me, and then I'll watch it on Peacock.
It'll come out the 15th. Wow. All right, bet.
I got Peacock, so I'll watch it. I'll watch it there.
What's happening?
Be scared out of my mind about these people killing people. But yeah, like with the episode, I understand. I feel like you guys both make fair points because, like, for it to be the benchmark of the series, like this is the first premiere episode for this new series because everybody's like, "What is what if? What is that about? What's going on?" And this is the first episode you posted, and even me and my husband, like, you know, we were sick with COVID, me and my daughter at the time, and he was okay at the time, so we were like FaceTiming as I'm watching from the bedroom and he's in the living room. And so after he was like, I don't know about the series because, you know, I didn't know what to expect or what to, you know, whether this was going to be interesting. Because honestly, I wasn't really interested in What If until I saw like clips of, T'Challa being Star-Lord. I'm like, oh, that is hella interesting. I want to see that.
But see, that's my point right there. Is that was interesting. And because it's like T'Challa's, like people know it, or some people may not know it, that was T'Challa's, Chadwick's last piece of work.
Also
like you would think that they would start that episode as the first one and not the second. Like why? Like why didn't they bring that as the first?
I
that's what
wholeheartedly
makes
agree.
people like watch. Like, oh my god, this is his last piece of work. This is going to be great. Like, why would you start off with a snoozer like you did episode 1, where nothing really changed? Because of what if, like with that title, you're thinking, okay, what if this happened? Then something drastic is going to change, right? Like
kind of like butterfly effect.
Yeah, so like with Party Thor and stuff like that. Like, what if he was different and stuff, and it's a dramatic change versus the first episode was like, okay, what if Peggy was Captain Britain or whatever, but nothing really changed. So it's like, why are we setting this as the president for like the first episode when nothing really changes? So like, that's my thing.
Real quick. This is kind of like away from it a little bit from the how we feel about the episode. But I wanted to ask you guys, and who do you guys think would be stronger, Captain America Steve Rogers or Captain Britain Sharon Carter?
I think they would be of equal strength, right? Because
you think so?
Because of the serum. Like I feel like, although she seemed bigger than him.
She was bigger than him. She was very capable.
Like her seemed bigger than when he became Captain America. Like I feel like if they stood side by side, like you know how like the lady's like, oh, I could be 6 feet if I got heels. She was like 6 and more. She seemed like
6'5", 6'6".
Right. Like she could have played for
WNBA for sure.
Like,
yeah.
Right.
She didn't have to jump.
Right? No, not at all. Just, it's in there, getting threes from full court, not half court, full court. So it's like, I feel like she seemed bigger, and she did. I like that. That's one thing. I do like that she seemed very capable. It wasn't a situation where they were like, okay, she's got the serum and she had like a lot of things that were inhibiting her from completing or fighting and completing the missions. I should have finished that. Completing the missions and like fighting in these battles and things like that. She seemed highly capable, but I feel like they would be of equal strength because they both kind of seemed the same. Like watching this, I was like, okay, it just seemed like they have like a very similar ilk, And it did remind me of like, because I remember watching the first movie, and the first time I hated the movie. The second time, when you watch the first Avenger, and then the second time I was like, okay, it's okay. I don't hate it, but it's okay. And that's kind of how I felt about that first episode.
What about you, Jazz? Who you think is stronger? Sharon Carter or Captain Rogers? Steve Rogers, yeah.
I feel like the same as Christine. I feel like they'll be pretty much equal, but I would say maybe Sharon might be a little more stronger. I feel like because just like you said, like her stature is just like very much bigger. Like with Steve, when he stands next to you, it's almost like he's just like a regular like height person versus like in the What If show, Peggy was like towering over people almost. Like she was still bigger. So that's why I'm like, I think that she would kind of mess him up maybe.
I think she's stronger because she is I don't know her exact height, but she's like average height. She's like if we remember, like Steve was like malnourished. He was low in a whole bunch of stats.
It did look like a whole like
he was small. He was like 5'4" or something like that, and he was 130 or something, 120. Like he was 5'4".
What I would give to be 130.
One something. He looked sickly. And compared to how healthy Sharon is, she's healthier, taller, stronger than Steve. I think she would have an advantage over him. And just like imagine like if a regular person took the serum, like they'd probably be even stronger with that serum. So I think Sharon would be stronger than him.
I think Alexander does bring up a good point. Like maybe Steve was smaller than her before because he was like tiny and fragile.
He was frail.
He was before he took the serum. He was
right. So she did give me Wonder Woman vibes as well. Like when she was flipping the trucks, I felt like that's like Wonder Woman's like vibe, like grabbing a truck or a tank and just like flipping it seemed to be like her thing. I will say, like, I do have a funny story about the first episode, which was hilarious because, like I said, I was watching it in the bedroom with my daughter because we were both quarantining from my husband since we both had COVID, and like that guy, because I mean it's back in the 20s, right, or the 20s or
40s, yeah, 40s, I think down to 40s, 30s, 40s, around that time,
dark time,
and then while that's going on. that guy, you had the sexist general who's just like, you can't do it because you're a lady. And every time I saw him, when he would make a statement, and then I would just be like, "Bit," like I said the word, right? I was saying the B word, right? Because I was pissed because he was getting on my nerves. Then he did it again. Then I said it. Then he said something else, and then I said it. And then when she like sunned him, I was like blank, and I said it. And then my daughter, who's 2 at the time, now she's 6, but she was like blank, 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 blank. I was like, stop saying it, baby. Hey, why stop saying it? Stop saying it. And then she's like, blank, 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 blank. And then hubby's like, you see what you've done to my daughter? And then he's like yelling through the FaceTime, like, stop, calm down, hush, like stop. So that's
kids are sponges. They're gonna learn the one word you don't want them to learn.
She was listening. She was like,
no, she pay attention to now pay attention to everything.
You can say apple as many times in front of her as you want to, but as soon as you say the B word, that's the one that's gonna stick. That's the one that's gonna
that one
stick.
sound different. I like that one. I like the way
that one got a little tang to it. I like that one.
I like that one. She was cursing up a storm. So like moving into episode 2, right? Episode 2 is what if T'Challa became a Star-Lord. All right. At the time,
so the time about the show is just different every episode, like what if moments.
Yeah.
That's a dope concept. Okay.
Yeah. The concept is cool, and the way it came together, I do feel like was a cool concept. So in this one, instead of Peter Quill getting abducted by Yondu and the space pirates, it was T'Challa because they made a mistake. They were like, oh, a human boy, we got one. And they're like, does he even look like the man that we showed you?
Supposed to get,
they're supposed to get him.
A whole different one. And so I loved this episode. I love the fact that they kept the fact that he would call himself Star-Lord, but he was cool. Everybody respected him. He was cool. Like
nobody had issues.
Nobody had no issues. Thanos was like, he convinced me to give up this.
That was the craziest part. Yes. That was the craziest part right there.
Like the fact that there was like this camaraderie and this respect. I was like, of course we would do it. We would make it cool. Like nobody respected Peter Quill when he's like Star-Lord. The guy's like, who? In this case, that guy was a fanboy number 1. He was like, oh, it's you. And I loved his character in this realm. What about you guys?
I mainly like the episode because of Thanos, that you brought up, because like this Thanos gave up on everything that he was trying to do, and like he's still, and it's like even though he gave up on it, he was like, it was still a good plan though, like cause he was like
right.
They was like pointing out, they was like, that was like genocide, right? And he was like, but it was effective. It
was efficient, right? It was
right. It's efficient. It's like it would have worked, but like.
It seemed kind of like he was like, it was the old plan. He's like, listen, it's still a plan B.
Right. He's like, look, that plan is still smart though.
Right.
It still happens.
Even though I didn't do it. So that's why I like that episode. That's the main reason why I liked it.
Yeah.
That was definitely fun. And then like you guys were saying, like it made my heart happy to hear Chadwick doing the actual voicing. And that's a thing kind of throughout this series, that a lot of these actors came back and reprised their roles, even if it was for a few seconds. Especially in the Thor episode, it was like everybody came back almost.
Yeah. It's like, yo, this is a party. This is a party.
For real. But I love the episode. I love the way that things kind of would flow. I don't think I had any problems with episode 2.
Episode 2 was a 10 out of 10. Let's be real. It was
fine.
It was a fire episode. Fun episode, fire episode. Everything you would want in the episode was that one. It should have been the first one.
The one that I fell asleep on? I don't know.
What is episode 3? What was
episode 3? Yes. Okay. We're gonna dive into episode 3 because I had some issues. I had some problems with episode. Episode 3 is what if the world lost its mightiest heroes. And in this episode, this goes back to like Iron Man 2, where Nick Fury's like heavily trying to recruit Iron Man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
In this one, like we said, this is spoilers. We're in the spoilers. All of the Avengers are dying off.
Getting clapped.
Are dying off. Meanwhile, the events of Thor are kind of happening, right? Where Loki's coming to get the hammer because Thor dies. Thor comes, Thor dies. Iron Man, he asks Iron Man dies.
Yep. Hulk explodes.
That one, I would tell you, like, there were some great things in this episode because at first the mystery was great until the reveal. The reveal's where I have a problem, honestly. But like when the Hulk was bubbling up and I was like, oh my gosh, and then he exploded, I was like, what?
I said, what? Whoa.
Yeah. And to see everybody like actually dying, I was like, what is happening? What's going on?
Yeah.
So the mystery was hella interesting with that episode. But then when you've got the reveal that it's Papa Ant-Man, because his daughter apparently died. Papa Ant-Man, because his daughter died in some mission like that we didn't even know or were not a part of, and that he was the reason that he was the one killing everybody. And I was like, oh, that fell flat, because it would be different if like in our universe she died and you're like, you didn't know this mission, then it's like, hey, or you didn't know like who was killing all these people. Then the reveal is like, oh, it's Papa Ant-Man. And you're like, oh, it's because his daughter died in that movie. And he, instead of helping and training another Ant-Man, he snapped and was like, no, I'm going to kill the Avengers. That would have made more sense. Like if it was something that that could have been the change. It just,
I think that was the episode that made me fall asleep.
Oh, really? With them all dying?
I think that was it. Yeah.
Exploding did not keep you awake?
No, I slept through that. I didn't know that he exploded until like the third try of me watching that episode, because I was asleep. Like in the beginning, all I saw was that they were trying to recruit Iron Man, and then I knocked out. Like as soon as he fell down, I knocked out. Then I woke up again, and it was like Widow and Fury again, and then I knocked out again. So it was like I fell asleep like at least 3 times on that episode.
Yeah, I would say the reasoning for Ant-Man. Well, the original Ant-Man,
the original one,
Hank Pym, was like, it's like, bruh, like she literally chose to be a SHIELD agent. Like she knew what was going on. Yes. You can't. That's like a vengeful father. Like you can't go outside past 10. Like like she's an adult. She can do what you want to do. Like you knew what the job entailed. Like. But Nick Fury is keeping too many secrets. I mean, because it's Nick Fury. Like she knew what she was about to say.
She knew it, and she signed that agreement. Okay, that's it. So if she gets messed up, she gets messed up.
And you can't expect that you would do this job and not die. And the thing is, with empathy, right, or sympathy, or any of those pathies, I can understand you being upset or you being but being driven to murder, it just was way.
It was just like, why you gotta kill him though? Like, why? And then
I would just go for Nick Fury, because he's the one that did. Why would I kill all the other people that have nothing to do with it?
That's why I don't even say like, oh, I'm gonna save them from the same fate you gave my daughter, because you killed them, so you did the same thing. Like,
why would just
that's why I don't understand. I never understood the villain trope where they be like, and this goes for anime, movies, whatever. They'd be like, okay, well, this one person screwed over this person. So guess what? I'm going to go after everybody around the person,
right?
Instead of getting the sole person that you want to get. I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
I'm going to kill all your friends, and I'm going to save you for last. You're not your friends. They're basically
everybody except you. Then get you last, and I may not even get you at that point, because I might be in jail. Like right. So what is what? Like what is the purpose?
If you want to really make someone suffer, if we're gonna do hey buddies, let me teach you how to be type of video, like kidnap the person, keep them in a basement, and like break their legs or do torture and stuff like that. Don't kill all these strangers, because you didn't even have a relationship with them. So he met.
So they didn't even know.
Robert Stark was not likable then. So him dying means nothing to him in the aspect of, man, I'm hurt. I mean, you are making it difficult for him to build a team, but there are a hella people out there with powers, so he could just find other people.
Yeah. I felt that episode was
act like the Young Avengers ain't a thing. Like
right, like they've done the Young Avengers right now. Like I
don't understand. I like that voice.
They are like.
That's why I fell asleep on it, because I was like, man, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's episode 2, or sorry, that was episode 3. For episode 4. what if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands?
Fire.
So in this
Fire.
episode, I will say that after watching episode 3 and having that reveal, right? And I was like, okay. And then watching this episode, it did get to a point where I was just like, I don't know if I like this. I don't know if I'm.
You didn't like that?
You didn't like episode 4?
Okay, so there were things I liked and I enjoyed. Right?
Let's talk about it.
The story of for those who don't know, this one is Doctor Strange. In this universe, he's driving to the party with his
love. Let's just say that.
I guess love, right?
Yeah, it's love. Yeah.
But then she dies, and that's essentially the situation. Like, no matter what he does, it's not like literally legit butterfly effect. No matter what he does, it's just not working out, right? Like, it's like she is meant to die, right? And then he gets to a place where he's like consuming essentially demons.
Yeah.
Right? He's doing that Maraku like hand thing and sucking in these demons. And it gets to a place where he's split into two. It got confusing for me.
What?
I'll give you the quick
when they said
said
the word multiverse, I still need someone to do a formal video on multiverses versus multiple timelines, because you can't use these two different words and expect. I mean, I felt like that meme of the guy with the and the numbers all over. I was like, wait, what? So there's two universes now. Like there's two, like, or in this universe there's two realities or two. Explain.
Okay, it does. I gotta understand what you're saying. It does get a little confusing. So basically, the whole episode is like him, of grief, another grief episode. Him losing his love instead of his hands. And so what happened was that he got to a point to where, he absorbed everything. He went back in time to one of the first sorcerers or whatever that was able to stop an absolute point. Because, absolute points is where, it has to happen.
It has to happen, right?
It has to happen. And the only person that knew how to stop him was that sorcerer. So the supreme sorcerer was like, something's off, because it could tell, because he's messing with time. And so she decided to split him into two halves in the absolute point. So he got one absolute point where he didn't become Doctor, Supreme Strange, and then one where
the evil one
when he was good. And so Supreme Strange, having the power that he had with the Time Stone himself, was able to go, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go get him." So it's within the same universe, but with two different timelines.
Yeah, and it's like the evil one basically overtook the good one, because he had that much like conviction that he wanted to get what he wanted. I don't care what happens. I don't care what's right for the universe. I want what I want, which is my love. So he overtook the good one, basically absorbed him up, then absorbed up all the other demons and everything, so that he could get his love. And because it was fate that she was going to die, basically, no matter what he did, with him doing all of that, it's like, okay, he needed that power so that he could bring her back, which he did, but she still died, because that's her fate at the end of the day. Like, you brought her back, cool, she's here now, but now the world is collapsing, now you're a monster, and now she's about to die again in front of you. So and
the whole universe gets destroyed because you're breaking the rules.
So now, because you chose to break the rules, you didn't listen to the fate. Like, you didn't listen to fate, basically saying that she has to die, and you were trying to break fate, which is not going to happen. Now the whole universe is now donezo, and you're just here in your own right. And now you're just here, and you're supposed to sit here with the consequences. It was just him, just in this little bubble universe with nothing, because nothing is left. Yeah, you destroyed everything and still didn't get what you wanted. So.
For me, like, I can understand loving someone so much that you are like F a universe, right?
Yeah.
I can understand that being a storyline. The thing, though, for me is in the movies, because you're using content we're familiar with, right? What were you gonna say, Charlie?
Oh no, I was thinking out loud.
He said, "I agree." That's what he.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So for me, like, if you're gonna use content we're familiar with, right, and in the movies, like it seemed like they were just like that. They were just like sex buddies. Like it didn't really seem like they were in love. Like
in that
I would
universe,
not
in that universe.
in that
one.
universe. But in this one, I felt like, I mean, and mind you, I know they're restricted on time because they're trying to do all these stories and it's anthology-ish as a series. Like I didn't feel like I didn't I'm like, okay, you're doing all this for sex? I mean, you got sex with anybody. Like, it didn't feel like
He loved her though.
It wasn't just sex though.
It wasn't
they
just
never
sex,
showed
though.
them have sex.
They never, right? I don't know, Kersigan, her
It
own
was
little
just- it
fantasy.
was just-
I'm just saying. You and
He
you
loved her.
I said that it was love because, like,
8
okay,
billion.
so let's imagine this, right? So imagine like you have the power, right? And then something happened to where someone that you really care about in your life died. And you're like, you cannot live without this person being alive, or you'd rather trade places. Let's just say that. Let's trade places and something bad happens to me, but at least you get to live. Would you do that?
This sounds like would you rather that we played on Monday.
But that's what I'm saying. Because I'm thinking like, okay, so say if my mom had the power, right? Say if my mom had the power, and say I die or my brother dies, one of her kids die. She's going to do everything in her power to make sure that we come back. So that's like the same thing with him. Like, so he loves her that much that he's going to do everything in his power to make sure that she comes back somehow. And it keeps failing and failing and failing. So he's going to keep trying over and over and over to try to get a timeline where she lives, basically. Like,
No,
I'm pretty sure my mom would do that for me.
I just felt like it wasn't displayed in a place where I would, as the viewer, like,
I see that.
Like, you know how, like, okay, some of the things that we've seen in the movies, right? Like the thing with Iron Man made me bawl because I was emotionally invested in that character. Right. The series and these movies have made me invested into that character. I think with this episode, for me, I wasn't invested in her as a character because I didn't get investment from the movie and we didn't get a lot of time with her in this episode. So it's like I can understand his motivations, right? But like watching it, I was like, okay, I don't really care that she's repeatedly dying.
I think you know what I don't think this episode was trying to make you give empathy towards Supreme Strange. The episode was to punish him.
It's basically the whole episode was punishment.
Obviously to set him up for the
for the finale, but also punish him within his reality because he did that. He was told. So how many people got told not to do that? To touch the stove. The Sorcerer Supreme. Even Wong was like, "You better get off before you do something you regret." How many people got to tell you?
That guy in that temple, he was
Yeah.
How many people got to tell you don't do it? Oh, he said, "Nah, I'm gonna do it anyway," and you get punished. So
he doesn't get a happy ending. Yeah.
Even the Watcher, he when he sets the consciousness of the Watcher was like, "Help me." He was like, "Nah, fam, you did that."
I will say that is something for the series that I like. That it was like more and more, some people would kind of feel the Watcher. Like you could tell that the Watcher was so intently watching what he was doing. You know how like you could feel if somebody's watching you, like if you're somewhere and you're like, okay, I feel that sense. And so I did like that would happen where, and it's not really breaking the fourth wall, but it's breaking a third wall because it's not like we us, but you know, you get what I'm saying? It's like real realm in that. But I did enjoy that happened a couple of times in the series where people were kind of sensed this guy watching them.
But it was based on like their power level though, because like it's like you're a normal person, you don't know who they're like. But if it's like you've passed like this stage of like consciousness of all the power that you have, now you're sensing the outside forces that are watching over top of you. Like that's the thing that gave me chills. That episode was when he was hearing him talk, and he was just like you saw like from like the back angle from him, and then you just hear the Watcher talking, and you think he's just talking to us, and then you just see Doctor Strange looking like.
Who is
that? And I was like, oh shoot, like that's.
I was like, whoa.
That's what gave me chill. I was like, oh no.
that was good. Like there, and that's the thing with each of these episodes. They have like really great moments, right? I feel like there are good moments in every episode that happen. And then I do like the carryover of you seeing him like in like when someone's traveling. I don't know if you guys, well, I'm sure you guys did. You guys are very, very tuned into a lot of the stuff that you're watching. But like whenever there's traveling, you could see him in the sky or in the horizon or in the
just watching in the background.
Right. Right. So that was episode 4. Episode 5.
How many episodes?
There's 9. There's 9. Yeah.
Mhm.
So episode 5 was my favorite episode. What if zombies? Okay.
Yeah, that was a good one.
This one was my favorite episode. This is episode 1 for me, and then not episode 1, but episode 5 was the best one, and then the second one is the Star-Lord one for me. But like, this episode was hands down the best episode. We get our group that we've loved and we've known for a while. Only some of them, because we get one of my favorite movies, which is Infinity War. So we get that kind of like intro because we're following Hulk coming back from Ragnarok, and he's coming back to Earth, and we're seeing this realm through his eyes, right? And where he lands, there are zombies. Like a lot of the Avengers are zombies, and then it falls on other Avengers or other Avenger adjacent people to kind of take up the torch and try to fix things. Like Okoye, I love freaking seeing Okoye in this. Having the Hulk and that interaction with Spider-Man, like it was a lot of fun to see these characters come together, and I feel like this episode was so well executed.
It showed the Avengers power level. The only gripe I have with it, right, is that how did Tony Stark become a zombie? Because I'm like, wasn't that armor like he's been slightly upgrading his armors throughout the whole universe, and one of the armors was so it's nanotech. So how did he get bit? Like, how was he able to get? That's the only thing. I'm like, how did Tony Stark get bit? Like, how his whole armor's been upgraded to a point to where Ant-Man shouldn't be able to do that to him.
And my other thing is how they decided to end the episode when they showed zombie Thanos, and then they just ended it. I'm like,
oh, that blew me.
And then never revisited it like ever. So I'm like, so what is zombie Thanos doing with the gauntlet?
Yeah.
Who knows? That man got all the stones.
And like, yeah, I get you, because he came and everybody was pretty much zombies.
Yeah, because everybody was zombies, and then he came. He had the gauntlet too. So I'm like, okay, so this zombie has some consciousness that he knows what he's doing, and then they just ended it. I'm like, okay, so what happened? Like,
right?
What?
Because I get you, because in this realm of zombies, which I like, and this is one thing I do like, kind of branching out, just not outside of just this content, this show that we're talking about, but like, I love when properties add lore to pre-existing things, like vampires. I love whenever I watch a new vampire movie or show, and I'm like, what lore are they gonna bring? Like, what are the rules of being a vampire in this realm and what that means, versus like Vampire Diaries, which I think had really great lore of rules of what happens as a vampire, how you get bit, how do you get changed, what happens if you don't drink, all that stuff.
Enter.
And what'd you say?
I didn't need permission to enter. I do love how vampire rules.
Yeah. And then and the rules of that, like if the person that had the deed that lets you get access died, then you lose your access. You can't get in anymore unless the new person like, I love those like rules. So for this one, anyone that died that had powers, their powers were still very active, and they had like a level of using those powers to complete their goal of infecting more people.
Yeah. I like that too. I just didn't that's the only two gripes I had with the episode, was like what Jasmine said about zombie Thanos. Like, what is he about to do? But I kind of like the cliffhanger, because you're like, now you're just thinking like in your own head, like, what in the heck could he possibly do? Like, have universe zombies? Like, what is he?
I had more of a problem with it because they ended it right there, and I was just like, okay, that's a blower. Like, it's gonna end it right there. And I'm like, maybe they're gonna come back like with the other episodes. But then like, it's like with the fast forward to episode 9. They brought back the zombies. They brought back the zombies to use them as a distraction, but they never showed zombie Thanos. So I'm like, so where is zombie Thanos? Like, where is he at? Like, they didn't show him. They didn't show the gauntlet. So I'm like, did somebody take him out? Like, I don't know, like, what happened at all. Like,
I would like to know what happened.
Yeah. But I like the dark twist of the episode where it was like, people were like Vision got dark, okay? Because Vision was like,
oh, you just reminded me what they did to Black Panther. Oh my god!
Oh, I will have to say that in this show, I feel like there were times where they were respectful to T'Challa and then disrespectful. Because
who got bodied the most in this damn whole series? Tony Stark and T'Challa, they just getting bodied the most. I'm like, damn.
They're like, I got a gripe to pick with you two. But like, you find out that Vision has been collecting body parts from Avengers to feed his zombie wife, Zombie Wanda. Okay, to try to contain her.
Dope.
It is, Charlie.
Yeah,
it
I think
is.
you would have liked that episode, honestly.
You would have loved that
Vision was
episode.
feeding T'Challa to Scarlet.
And don't forget Ant-Man.
Yes.
Don't forget
Ant-Man. Yeah, Ant-Man. Yeah, all he had was a head left.
Oh,
this is it turns to Futurama.
Right. Yes, it's Futurama, like the head.
Oh my god.
I'm like, what? All right, what? He's just a head. I'm like, yo, this episode wild.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. I was like, what the heck? And how they were like a zombie Wanda figure. I will say I'm not against that, because when she, like, with her power, because they went to kind of where we know Wanda in the WandaVision show power level, because yeah, she was powerful, but they didn't really showcase her power until WandaVision, and she was kind of there at this time.
Yes.
When this happened. And like I also, what'd you say?
I was talking to Young Shoto.
Oh, okay.
Is that like from like Shoto, like Street Fighter? Okay, never mind. Y'all go ahead.
You don't take your conversation.
No, because I saw his name. I thought maybe he played Street Fighter. I thought maybe he wanted to get beat up. I ain't know. Y'all can go ahead.
Why you trying to fight everybody all the time?
Is this true?
Oh, I love fighting games. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This guy. So Nope says the showrunner said Zombie Thanos is in season 2 after the release of that episode. Okay.
Oh, so they're gonna bring him back?
I
didn't know they were gonna do a season 2. I thought this was kind of like a one.
Nah, they doing a season 2. I think I heard that from somewhere. I can't remember.
Okay. But yeah, I would say like that the episode was enjoyable. I love the dialogue. I love the interactions of the characters. Like I even like the dark twist. Like Vision was freaking beating the Avengers like piece by piece. Like not even like she was eating whole bodies. Like you said, Ant-Man just had a head left, and he knew enough to keep them alive as he's like cutting off limbs and feeding her. Like if you think of the depth of this, like. Oh yeah,
he's trying to give his woman some fresh food. Okay, he's not trying to give her no decayed nothing. Okay,
so he was like baiting people to come to this base, so that way he could get them and feed them to her. But then here's the thing: when which was like before Zombie Thanos, because I was like, oh crap, but was when Wasp, when she got big, and I was like, holy crap. She's gonna be a zombie big, because she didn't get small again. She's big now.
Yep.
And when she became zombie big, I was like, it definitely made me feel, because this isn't our universe, anything can happen, right? So I'm like, I feel like all bets are off, and especially with the Doctor Strange episode ending in a dark place, I'm like, crap, anything can happen.
So I thought, luckily, Hope was like, yeah, I got this one.
Right.
One was in that dark. Oh Lord.
Lord. Like num.
But yeah, the zombie episode was fire.
5, yeah. All right, so episode 6. This was an episode where I was like, okay, I was not a fan of some things, and it's on a personal level. So episode 6 is what if Killmonger rescued Tony Stark?
Oh.
I thought that was a fire episode. I thought it was a good episode.
There are things that I can understand liking about it, but I wish that, okay, well, first of all, let me for people who don't know. In this episode, the what if is, in Iron Man 1, when he's in the convoy and he's in the Middle East somewhere to showcase weapons, at that time that he's getting attacked, what if Killmonger shows up and saves him? And then, Obadiah gets fired, and Killmonger becomes his kind of what was the title?
His bodyguard. He's like his bodyguard.
And then he was like in charge of like weapons and stuff like that. Like he was like, he became his like best friend, and they were like working together. There are things that I didn't like them freaking killing T'Challa. Like I'm like, bro, like can we let him live, please? Can we let him live? I understand why T'Challa was there, and I understand that Killmonger would have killed him anyways.
Yeah.
But like I wasn't a fan of the lengths that to which he was going, you know, like killing Don Cheadle's character. What's his name? Not Iron Maiden, but like what's his name?
War Machine.
War Machine. Sorry. War Machine. Like killing War Machine, and then killing Iron Man, and he killed T'Challa. And when he was fighting with Iron Man, I was like, oh, he about to kill him. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back to put my Legos together because I was putting a Harry Potter Hogwarts Lego set, which I still have not finished. There's like 1,600, I think, pieces or something like that. So,
oh my god,
I was like, let me get back to my Hogwarts because I was like, you done killed too many people for me in this episode, and I was
that. But he was bodying people.
That's how
he didn't care who. That's how he was in Black Panther. He killed Ulysses Claus with no problem. I'm killing anybody who gets in my way. He saw all the he got those, you know, the little tribals, like, what is it called? I forgot what it is.
Scarification.
Scarification's for a reason. I don't trust Killmonger with my babysitting my kid. I wouldn't.
No,
but that's why
you can't trust him with saving the all universes. Apparently,
that's why I liked that episode, because with Killmonger, you cannot trust him. You can't trust him. So anything he's doing, he is going to have a double motive for it. It's not what you think it is. He's not trying to be good. He's only doing good things so that he can gain your trust for now, so that he could go ahead and move on with his next phase of his plan, which is to, you know, take over, basically.
And I will say, I agree with this point that Joel brings up until I talked with my husband right before we were like coming in to set this up and start to stream today. Because I felt when I watched the episode, I also was like confused. Like, because you like, okay, you befriend Tony Stark and then you kill Tony Stark. You take over. You're like, hey, General, I'll lead the war against Wakanda. Then you sell out the information to Wakanda to beat them. And then I'm like, what is your plan, your goal, like what you're doing? But then with talking with him, I realized that he's playing the long game.
Yeah.
Because getting the crown of being Black Panther, he'll then especially with having everybody trust him, it wouldn't be a similar situation to the Black Panther movie, you know, on this path, this realm that we thought it was going to go, right? Because obviously by episode 9, we learned that that's not how it ended up happening. However, his mindset is like, he became Black Panther. He's the heir to the throne now. When things pass along, everybody's going to back him on his plan to do what he was trying to do in the Black Panther movie. But at the time when I watched it, I was just like, okay, what is his point? What is his motivations? Like,
it's because he wants that natural support. Like, it's not like he doesn't want to be seen as the villain when it comes to his target, like, audience that he wants to follow him.
He don't want to be a dictator.
Yeah.
He don't want to be a
dictator. He wants to be voted fairly so that nobody could have anything to say about it, because they're like, oh, well, he did this and this and this. Why wouldn't we support him? And then like looking at y'all like, yeah, why wouldn't they? Like, I don't know. Like, it's kind of like playing the victim almost. It's like, yeah, like, why would you say that I'm doing all these bad things when I didn't, and everybody's praising me?
Manipulating,
he's manipulating the people so that it's not like he's just on a kill like tour, basically. Like, you gotta get that natural support so it looks more real than it actually is. So that's why I like it,
by winning their favor and stuff like that. And that's the thing, I can understand why people like the episode. For me, it was just like, not T'Challa, like, it hurt my heart because it's on a personal level, the whole Black Panther situation for me. And so seeing that where he comes and he dies and then he killed Iron Man, I was like, you know what, F you, like, I ain't watching it anymore. Like, you know, you kill everybody, I'm done with you.
I mean, look at his name. It has kill in it.
Killmonger. You could kill some
right.
people. You could have killed Happy. I would have been okay with that. Happy to die.
You could kill Happy.
You know, you can still kill Claw, you know. But like,
oh my goodness.
I know you got a goal, but like, can we when he killed T'Challa, I was like, Ricky, you know.
Oh my god.
And plus, like, I see someone said, they said Tony died from being stabbed in the shoulder. It's like, what? But y'all have to learn. Y'all have to see here though. Iron Man Tony Stark is Iron Man when he's in the suit. Okay, when he's not in a suit, he's just Tony Stark,
He's a regular man,
regular man.
And this wasn't like upgraded Tony Stark when he still had the arc reactor in his chest.
Right, he was a normal human being, so that's going to kill him. Okay, it's going to kill that man. He is, and not then also Batman.
he didn't have any skills as a fighter yet. Like he had zero like capabilities and things like that. So I did not see the actual action that killed him, because when they were fighting, I was like, he gonna die. So I'm just going.
He didn't even make the Iron Man suit.
He doesn't really know how to fight super well out of the suit. He doesn't. So he's going to die.
Like, he didn't even make the suit, right? He didn't even make the suit. He didn't even make the suit.
He didn't even really make the suit. Right.
No.
He didn't make the suit.
He didn't even have
they were making the things with Killmonger. They were making
and Killmonger is a trained fighter. So a trained fighter versus non-trained fighter, that
Tony Stark with no suit.
So right. That one is gonna die. I'm sorry. He didn't have to be stabbed. He could have been punched to death. Who knows? He
just take the arc reactor out of his chest. He gonna he gonna fall. You know,
he's gonna be dead.
He was.
Well, I don't even think he even had the strapple in his chest. He didn't even have it because he threw the bomb. So he didn't even have to make the arc reactor.
Right. Didn't have that either. So he's just a normal person at this point.
Yeah, he is normal.
He's a normal, rich, smart person, but he's not more powerful than the average human being. He's not. So.
No, he's not. I think he might be less powerful than the average human being. Like, honestly, because his capabilities was being rich, you know, going to parties.
Right. Only that suit is giving him power. Okay. Once he's out of that suit, and especially in this universe where the suit didn't even exist. Okay. He's done so. Okay.
Yeah.
He would be Batman from Justice League when he's like, "What's your superpower?" And he's like, "I'm rich." And like,
wait, hold on now. Batman knows how to fight, though.
No, I'm not saying. No, I'm just saying the
look,
response
Jasmine
of
took
I'm rich.
Okay,
listen, I love Batman.
I'm about to say, hold on. Let's not do this.
Put the big head out. Here you go. There you go.
Okay.
I'm about to say, Batman knows how to fight.
All right, bro. I don't want to get into no argument about who wins Iron Man versus Batman again. Okay, let's move on, please, people.
Obviously, Batman.
No. Yes.
Listen, we gotta have a show.
There's a whole death battle.
I don't care what you said. I don't care what
you said. I am Iron Man. I am Iron Man. That's so Iron Man winning. Okay,
I don't care.
You guys need to go check that death battle out and review it. Okay,
no,
let's go. Move on. We're not gonna have this. We're not about to. We put him off the suit.
No,
you ever heard of Sentry Mode?
Bruce Wayne can get. What's his name? What's his first name? Stark. What's the first name? Robert. What's his
you thought the dude that died from getting stabbed in the shoulder?
Yeah, the dude.
You said Robert. Who are you talking about? Like Robert Stark. Who's that?
I keep wanting to say Rob Stark because of Game of Thrones, and I cannot my brain can't undo that. Okay,
Robert.
I think Rob Stark could fight Iron Man outside the suit and win.
But that's the problem, though. That's the problem, though. When he makes that suit, it's the problem.
When he makes the suit,
y'all listen. I'm not about to get in this argument with y'all. You already see the death battle, Jazz. Shut up.
Christine,
Christine didn't see that. I don't think Christine saw the death battle. Christine, did you see the death battle?
You don't watch Death
Batman versus Iron Man.
Oh no, it's not
you react to that, then holler back at me.
All right.
React to that, then holler back at me.
I got you.
There we go.
He said holler back.
Yes, sir. I have to take it. Write that down.
I am.
React to Batman versus Iron Man. There you go. And then we can talk. We can have all discussion.
We don't talk. I'll just say if Iron Man won, it's a lie. All right. So next episode is episode 7. Which I like even before I watched this episode, right? Because I'm not going to hold you. I watched the last 3 episodes today, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this episode, what if Thor were an only child? I was seeing mad thumbnails like worst what if episode, worst. I hate
really?
It. Yeah, there were mad thumbnails, and I was like,
I thought that was a fun episode.
It was fun.
So listen, I didn't watch the videos, but when I saw the thumbnails, I was like, oh, I guess that particular episode has Thor, and everybody hated it because there was like mad like thumbnails that people like worst episode of what if series. I hate all sorts of stuff, right?
What? They can't be happy in one universe.
One happy.
Here's the thing. I do. There could have been. I mean, since I didn't watch the videos, it could be one of those situations where it was clickbait, you know, to like have people click on it because hate works faster than regular, you know. And then if I watched the video, they would probably would have been like, "Well, the video was okay, or the episode was okay," you know. Who knows? But those were the thumbnails that I saw, and I saw a bunch of them. People were like,
I like that episode.
I love the episode.
Like, honestly, if Thor was like that in the movies, I think I would have not slept on them in the MCU, because in the MCU Thor movies, the only one that I watched completely was one. All the other ones did not watch it until like Hulk came in. That was the only one that I watched. Yeah, all of them stuck to me.
So for me, I feel like this, although this episode of Thor, I wouldn't say hated, right? But I didn't care for him when he was like this in the movie, right? There was like some things that were a little funny, but I loved Thor as he grew, as he matured, as he got better. Obviously, in the second one when he's shirtless by the water, yes, of course, I love that episode too, or that moment too, right? But like the aspect of this Thor, when I saw it, I was just like, okay, you know, I didn't really care for it. Yeah, there was like the fun for me was in everybody else coming back, like when who's America's Sweetheart? What's his name? And I know people are gonna come after me for it.
America's Sweetheart.
Yeah, he's like, I feel like once I say it, because mind you got to remember brain farts happen. Because once I say it, people are gonna be like, you didn't remember this guy's name,
right? Can you describe the person?
Okay, he was in. When he was in Ragnarok, he's the one that the guy that's also from Jurassic Park, and he's in the apartments. Jeff Goldblum, yes, like Yan Pan.
Oh, okay.
That's America's Sweetheart.
At one point, when he was in Jurassic Park, hey, everybody had a crush on him, bro.
Oh man,
that's why he got a show on Disney. It's Disney Plus, right? His show. He's got
his show's on Disney. Yeah, his show's on Disney. He's kind of eccentric now. He's very eccentric. Like he's very eccentric.
He is a very unique individual. That's not a lie. But like when I heard his voice, I was like, oh, they got him too. I really thought it was cool that all these actors came back and was like, yeah, I'll do an animated voice, because that's not really a normal thing. Normally when there's a show, when there's a movie, those actors don't reprise their voices in the show. They normally hire other people. So it was cool to hear those voices come back and be a part of this thing. And then seeing like Loki. Oh, I didn't even explain the episode. This is when in this episode, Thor did not have Loki as a brother because Odin did not keep him. Odin gave him back to his
frost
father.
giant. Yeah, the frost giants race. Yep.
Right. And so Loki grew up there being a prince and happy because all he wanted to do was be the top, right? And he was the top of his realm and he was good. And then Thor, in this, instead of being like a battle fiend, he was a party fiend. And he like loved to party, and apparently partied so much that they blew up a planet. Like that's a certain type of level of partying. Okay. But I just felt like this episode was definitely Christine looks at the Mavs. Yes, the Mavs is good. I feel like this episode was, I felt like it was definitely more so meant for kids. Like even when he's like, "Oh, my mom is coming. We gotta clean up, guys. I was doing homework." I felt like, okay, I don't really care for this episode.
I felt like that part was to show that you're still scared of your parents, no matter what like age you are. Because he's a full grown adult, but he still doesn't want to get in trouble by his mom. Like,
I have a question. Is the father dead? He's like, oh
no. No. Damn, Christine. Jessica, I know they do. They do make it seem kind of weird. They put his ass in a coffin. They want him to die. Yeah, right. But he's just sleeping. He just takes
it. Was like the wife poked his cheek. It's like, he's out. All right, I'm going on vacation with my girls.
Right.
I was like,
that'd be kind of wrong if he died and she like, all right, time to party. Like, what?
Trip. My husband died, y'all. I'm out here. Like,
oh my God.
No, he's in the Odin sleep. The Odin sleep is when Odin regenerates the Odin force. He loves using his name a lot. But yeah, that's when he uses his Odin force to rejuvenate and gain his powers, back, energy back, like we do in real life. So he's in the Odin sleep. So he'll be back later. He's not dead though. Okay. Yeah, he's resting. I
was like, either he's dead or in a coma, and they just went out to party. I was like, I don't understand.
They do put him in a coffin. I don't know why they do. He just can't lay in bed. Just chill.
Yeah.
I mean, they wanted to have fun while he was asleep, because if he's awake, then of course he's gonna shut everything down. So like, that's why there was all like, okay, is he like good? He's asleep now. Okay, now we can do it, and try to put everything back together once like before he wakes up.
Mm-hmm.
True. So for you guys, so it was a fun thing for you. Like there was some things.
It was fun.
I liked it. I have a bone to pick. No, I do have a bone to pick. I do have one particular bone to pick. So Natalie Portman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Character. I should have finished that. I like hard stopped. Natalie Portman's character, I did not like. Like you selling out your whole planet off of one night stand. Yes, I see them abs, but it ain't really worth it, boo. Okay.
What do you mean they was about to destroy the planet? Him and Captain Marvel were clapping on Earth.
That's why those other people were like, "Hey, we're gonna take him out," which makes sense. You have this entity coming, and they're just destroying the planet without care, and you don't know when that bar is gonna stop, right? So Shield's like, "We gotta handle it." She's like, "Well, no, he doesn't seem that bad," and then went and was like, found a way to go and tell his mom about what was happening. And I'm like, that I feel like off of a one night stand, that was a hell of a jump. Especially when you're thinking like, okay, he blew up a planet. Yeah, Jane Foster. You feel like he blew up a planet. That natural progression made no sense, especially when she had problems like doing the role or continuing the role, because she was like, oh, she doesn't want to play the damsel in distress. That's why we stopped seeing her in the movies.
Oh, really? I didn't know she wanted. Okay, all right.
That's how much we paid attention to Thor. That's what I'm saying.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that she personally was like, I don't want to be in the movies because I don't want to be Thor's just saving me all the time. I'm like,
right. And then here they go having her being like, hey, I mean, it must have been one hell of a night, because she's like, hey, it's not that bad. Let's go. And I'm like, no, Ninja, he got to go. He's destroying the planet as he's partying. He does not care.
I don't know, man. I
like that. I just
thought it was a fun episode.
It reminded me of Looney Tunes in a way, because of the way that they were fighting with Captain Marvel and Thor.
And they was going to Europe.
It was like they was hitting each other across countries, and then like you saw like the watcher in the background watching it too. He's just watching them just flying and then hitting another country with them like showing the name of the country and everything. Like I feel like that was like really fun. Like I don't know.
It was a fun episode to me. Like I didn't take the episode seriously at all. Like even
at all, yeah, no,
at all. Like I'm like, they're just having fun this episode, like a fun what if episode. Like they're just a party Thor. Like that just seems fun.
And it kind of reminded me of it's like Looney Tunes and like Rick and Morty, like in the same like episode almost. It's like they're doing all this crazy stuff and everything, and then they're doing this while this man is asleep and while the mom is away. So it's like, okay, like we're doing all this party and all this fighting, but mom is on the way now. So now let's clean all this stuff up. Let's fix up these countries. Let's fix up all the mess that we did before she gets back. And when she comes back, then we're good. Like clean it up. That's why I liked it.
That's fine. I didn't hate the episode. I had a bone to pick with that whole thing of the one night stand aspect, but like I didn't really care for the episode. Except for the end, because that's when everything really starts to kind of wind together, which I was really happy that they had this moment, because each episode, they had fun moments, or they had really great episodes like the zombie ones and the T'Challa one, and the Doctor Strange, despite how we felt and how we stood on different sides of that. They had a lot of great episodes, but I'm like, man, I love how Marvel comes together. And so we start to get that at the end of that episode, where he asks Jane Foster on a date, Thor does, and then all of a sudden you see this, like, first off, I was like, wait, is that Thanos in a suit? Because you see a suit with the stones on it, and then it opens up, and I was like, wait, Ultron? And I was like, okay, what a weird way to end this episode. And then we're starting to get the last two episodes that everything's kind of tying together. All right. So episode 8, what if Ultron won? And in this episode, he instead of the Avengers defeating him, he won that fight. He won that battle. He ended up, because if people remember from Ultron the movie, Vision's body he was preparing Vision's body for him to use that as a permanent body, because he had a temporary body and he wanted to make a permanent body to be in. In this episode, he succeeded. He's in Vision's body. And because at first I was like, oh, Thanos, then I was like Vision, and then I was like, oh, Ultron. I was like, wait, what? So yes, he succeeded. He ends up getting into Vision's body, or having that as his permanent body. and he's got his minions, and he got the stones, you know, towards the end of that episode, right?
Mhm.
When you see him in episode 7, it does start off with Clint and Natasha. You know, you see them on some type of mission, and you did not know at the time that they were the only people left, I think, on the planet.
No.
The only 2 people left on the whole entire planet, because he succeeded at killing everybody.
Mhm.
Yeah, it just was like, man, a lot of people don't like the Ultron movie, where don't Helmet as a good Avenger movie. I thought they got a lot done. I thought it was fire. Yeah, a lot of was done in it, and I feel like Ultron was a slept-on villain. The only thing I don't like about Marvel is that they just kill their villains off. They do that too much. They do that too much. I'm like, how many? I know y'all got villains, but like these are Omega level threats. Like you just don't want to get rid of them. But this might be, they might be retconning it because of the multiverse. So you never know.
I agree.
Yes.
Yeah. Ebony Maw, right? Yeah. You know. But the only gripe I had with that was like how easily he killed Thanos. I'm like, are you serious? I don't know. It's probably like time restraint, but like he Mind Stone, be on the dead. I'm like, damn.
I like it though.
In seconds. It was. I would say for me, it was interesting. The aspect of like he saw him because he was like, "Oh, I've conquered everything. Finally, peace." Then Thanos walks in and he's like, "Boop, I'm taking your stones."
He's just like,
there's worlds like.
Maybe.
I like it though because it shows us like what it's like if Vision wasn't like how Vision that we know is.
Yeah, he carrying humanity, all that stuff like that.
Yeah, if he didn't care so much and he was just like objective driven, like how Ultron is, like, okay, I have an objective and I can do whatever it takes to get that done. If he was like that, then yes, it would have been done in a second.
And this was a conversation we were having right before we started, because that's one of the gripes that hubby had, is the fact that Vision was getting hemmed up in Infinity War. And he's like, how is this one now in this body able to do it? And I was telling him, like, I feel like conviction is determination is the thing. Like, what's it? Vision, he's got love, he's got care. He's like, I care for these people. Whereas Ultron, kind of bleeding a little bit into episode 9, is on his objective. What is your objective? That was his objective. And
on top of that, I'm sorry, Jazz, to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Especially when Thanos, you gotta remember that like Thanos came early, first of all, and so that's like another what if thing. But also that Vision was injured in Infinity War. He got stabbed up by the spear when he tried to phase. On top of that, Shuri was trying to remove the stone, so he wasn't at the strongest fighting capability he could have been in. So I kind of understand, but it's just the way they killed him. It's just like, damn, like you just.
I just didn't want it to be that fast. Y'all want it to be a little fight. That's it.
Yeah, just a tiny little fight, like give something interesting.
I liked it though, because it's like you don't know what like the evil side of you is capable of doing. That's why I like it, because it's like, okay, we know Vision to be nice and lovable and stuff, and that's why he got clapped up so many times in the MCU. But like, if he was objective driven, like kill and destroy driven, he will get it done if he wanted to. Right. But that shows that he didn't want to. That wasn't his mindset.
Yeah.
Right. That wasn't his focus or his thought. He had a lot of other things he was thinking of, more personal and close to the heart. So in this episode, like I would say this episode was pretty fire.
Episode 9.
Episod 8.
Episode 8.
We're almost on 9.
We're almost on 9, Charlie. I know.
Look at his eyes. But like, this is a point we will get to when the Eternals movie comes out, because this whole situation, we'll get to them when that movie comes out and all this stuff happening, right? But like, in this episode, or in all of these episodes, the Watcher has been watching these things, and he has made what did he call it? Like a promise, but what's more than a promise? An oath.
An oath.
To a lie. He made an oath to whomever, I don't know who, because he never says to anybody. He just said, I've made an oath not to get involved, right? In any of these situations. And I don't know if this is kind of a way of kind of them setting up the Eternals thing, like they've made an oath, like not to get involved or whatever. But in this situation, he's been watching, right? And you see him in this realm of broken glass dimensions where he can see everything that's happening everywhere. And another freaking cool moment where he's narrating, which was actually kind of hilarious. Like he's narrating and Ultron's like, who's that? And then he's like still narrating. Because if it were me and I was to watch it, like, can you see me? Can you hear me? Like I would just like stop talking. But homie kept talking. And Ultron's like, I see you. I was like, whoa, this is pretty fire. Like, okay, you got to watch out, Watcher. You got to hush your mouth. You whispering too loud, sir. Okay.
Right.
They hear you. All right. And he sees him, and then the Watcher like actually gets freaked out. And I felt like that was such a great moment because he's been kind of a monotone emotion throughout the whole series, despite all the like a whole universe disappeared, and he had no emotions for that. But this moment when Ultron's looking at him, he was like, and actually gasped and is afraid of this threat that is kind of impending.
Yeah. That was Jasmine had said she had chills when she saw that part. She was like, oh, he was like, because every time like it's like breaking the third. I will just say the third wall. It's like, man,
whatever
it's like they reached the consciousness to where they can sense this big baby head just talking.
Got a large head, bro.
But my favorite part,
okay,
I don't know how tall is he. He's whatever he wanted to be. My favorite part is when he was like, "You didn't think I could throw hands," and he put the armor on, and they just started fighting through the multiverse. Oh my goodness,
and
that was so good.
That's the thing that's getting me. They were boxing through universes. Okay, every punch they landed in a different like world / universe, and everybody is completely skipping over the fact that one of them had Captain America as the president. Nobody is talking about that. Nobody's talking about that at all.
I saw that where he's like, I, Steve Rogers.
Yeah, like why would he be swearing over a Bible for what? On a
I want to see that what if episode. What if Captain America was president?
What if Captain America was president? So I guess since they are having a season 2, are we going to revisit that?
I would love to see an episode like that.
Where he is president? Like, is anybody going to talk about that?
The show does sound interesting. Like, here y'all talk about it.
Yeah,
it was.
Watch it, Charlie.
I already know I ain't gonna watch. I ain't gonna lie to you. That sounds good though.
I appreciate.
But it is, especially the fight with Ultron. Ultron literally chomped on a whole universe. Like he just turned big and just
ate like a sandwich. He said, "Arr."
I was like,
nice. But at that moment, he also looked like Galactus. Is that
he looked? Yeah, he did look like Galactus.
So I kind of got like a little Galactus vibe, and then like. Kind of because I kind of want to I'll say this point when we talk about episode 9, right? But like, in this episode when you see the fighting, you see them like battling in this universe thing, and I'm just like, I was really excited. Like it was such an exciting episode or exciting moment to have him break through the 2.5 wall, whatever number wall we're gonna call this, that he broke in within this realm, But if y'all ready, I'm ready to just dive into episode.
Just go. Let's go.
Episode 9.
It's my favorite episode right here. Let's go.
Let's go, baby.
My favorite one.
I know, bro.
Episode 9. Okay, this was the finale. All right. In this episode, because I don't know, was it an official title? Because as I'm looking,
what if the Watcher broke his oath?
Watcher, broke his oath. Just like intervening. So.
And in this episode, we're starting off with because I don't remember if this was episode 8 or episode 9 when he's having the conversation with Doctor Strange. I think it might be episode 9.
Episode 8 is when he had that conversation at the end because Ultron was whooping that ass.
Okay,
and he ran away and talked to Strange Supreme.
Yes, in the
was Doctor Strange in every episode?
No,
in a few, but not in every.
3, yeah.
But like so he's talking to him, and then in episode 9, we've got a recruiting thing happening where the Watcher is like going to each of these moments, and he's like, "I am the Watcher. You have been chosen," and he's like, picking up all of these people. So in this, he chooses Thor from the Party Thor. He chooses Killmonger. He chooses T'Challa, Star-Lord. He chooses
Captain Britain, Sharon Carter.
Captain Britain, yeah. He and. Is that everybody? No, he chooses. Okay, here's one thing that I was hella confused about. I was like, did I miss an episode? Because you see Gamora and Iron Man were together in a moment. And then I literally paused out. Like, this is when I texted y'all, like, hey, I'm gonna need 20 minutes because I gotta like check. And I'm looking through and I'm like, no, I saw that episode. I saw that episode. I saw that episode. I saw that episode. I'm like, when did she pop up? But
they really
apparently
didn't
that was
go
a big
into what
question.
happened with her.
They didn't go into
They didn't go
that
into what happened with her at
all.
all. At
Right.
all.
At all.
So
So
it's just
you're
we just
not.
see
Yeah, you
Gamora
didn't miss
with
nothing.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, they said the
Gamora
episode was cut.
was
Why?
cut. I don't know. I guess
Yeah, like we don't need
Gamora.
content. I mean, you know, whatever.
It's
Yeah.
like you just had 10 episodes. Is
Unless-
nine a thing that you? Oh, okay.
Oh, it was cut for next season. Okay. I mean,
okay.
all
But
right.
why, if she's gonna be a part of the final lineup of
Just to
this
God give
final
us a little
fight,
mystery.
and
I
then
don't know.
they just said, you know what? Here's Titan killing Gamora, y'all. Y'all never saw her in none of the episodes, but here she is. Like
Right.
what?
Yeah. I
Doesn't
was
make
wondering that
sense.
too. And he was like, "Not you, Tony Stark." I was like, "Damn, they've been doing my
Right?
place
It was like, not you, Tony.
dirty."
I don't want you. I
I
was
was
like,
like, oh, we're gonna get both of that, but it was like what? I was like, oh, okay, guess not.
Guess not.
Yeah.
mhm.
And so that's the team because he obviously started it with Doctor Strange and so
Mhm.
or Supreme Strange, like you're saying. So you've got this team, and they are the Guardians of the Universes,
Multiverse. Guardians of the multiverse.
Yeah.
of the multiverse. Which I mean, you get a nice little, nod to Guardians of the Galaxy, but these are
Mhm.
Guardians of the Multiverse and them coming together. You get like a tiny little montage with everybody kind of spending time together and developing a plan, right? And then
Mhm.
we're into battle where Thor, being Party Thor, kind of alerts Ultron early and then fights Ultron early. And so they kind of have to like get their plan in motion and action very quickly. The thing that I like is that Gamora was supposed to use her device, which is like a stone crusher, to get rid of the stones. And you're seeing each of them enact parts of their stories that you got to be a part of. Like T'Challa, he's a pirate, so he stole one of the stones, and they were like in battle for getting that, which I loved. You got to see some of that. Captain America or Captain Britain, she's a powerhouse fighting, doing all this stuff. And Doctor Strange, he was kind of like their mage, he's powering them up as their or before. I think it was actually before they actually got into battle, right? Or when they first started. But like, I'll let you guys first. Like, talk to me about how you felt about episode 9, the finale of season 1.
Go ahead, Dwayne.
Okay, I was gonna say, Strange Supreme. He's supremely like he's S tier. Like if we had to rank them, he's S tier plus because he was like literally. If they didn't have him, even Ultron said, if they didn't have Supreme Strange over there, they would have get folded. This man was able to like. True. He used a time stone. He protected them at the same time. He literally was LeBron James. He was carrying them boys. Yeah, LeBron, like Super Strange Supreme. Like he was carrying them, bro. Like if he wasn't there, there'd be no way in heck. But that just shows you how powerful this guy really truly is. And then and the Ultron fight was amazing. Like, and then Black Widow came out and she had Red Guardian shield. She kind of messed him up though, because she didn't take the stone. Like, she didn't take the stone.
They would
like, come on, go get the stones. I'm playing. What are you doing?
Like, calm down, lady. Talk to them.
Right.
I mean, but I get it though. Like, because Widow is supposed to be the only one left in her universe, and now all of a sudden she's seeing people that she recognizes, and she's like, "Who the hell are you? And why are you here?" Basically. So I get it. I get why she did that a little bit. Yeah. But Strange Supreme was definitely an issue because Ultron even pointed out, he said, if it's not for this one, he said, I got to take out this one right here. Because if I take him out, then everybody's going to fall. Because your protection spell is what's protecting them from dying. Because he was like, why aren't y'all dying? He literally said, he said, I could take out universes with just the thought of it. So why are you not dead? And then he realized it was because of Strange. He was like, yeah, so I need to get you, basically.
Listen.
And then even Strange ate up his power. He ate up his universe destroying power and ate it like it was nuggets. And he said, what? Like he just took a chunk out of it and was just like, okay. Even Ultron was like, yo, that's too much power. Like, how are you gonna do that? And then when he slowed down time with the time stone so that he could get the soul stone, then here comes Strange again with his own time stone, basically waiting that, saying like, nope, I got my own stone too. Let me get that thing back from you. Like, it's like he is a problem. And then towards the end of the episode, I like how they ended it because it's making me think that he's gonna come in the real life MCU Doctor Strange's multiverse, because this technically will be one of the universes, like one of the universes in the multiverse.
Yeah.
Like so I
Multiverse
think
of
this
Madness.
cartoon, because and it's like almost like he's now a watcher for Ultron and Killmonger trying to get the stones in their little pocket reality. So now it's like he took the spot of being the watcher of that, watching over them and his little pocket universe, basically, that he has as well. And I feel like whenever somebody wins that, or if something happens and the stones get out, then I think that Doctor Strange will definitely take those stones and do something with it, and that something is going to happen in the multiverse of madness. That's what I feel like is going to happen.
Yeah, 100%. And it sounds amazing, but it just also has like, it's also like, okay, because Armin Zola was infected the Ultron, and then Killmonger was like, we are owed this, like we can save all your universes, you can get whatever you want. And then he traps them in like the Watcher. And I'm like, the Watcher knew that this was all going to happen. I'm like, I don't know about that.
That doesn't make sense to me, because you seemed surprised and you was like, we can't let this happen. So I'm like, why weren't you? That didn't make any sense.
Right. I don't think I think the Watcher wants to appear. Yeah, got a cap. Like, the Watcher wants to appear more omni, like, I know what's about to happen and stuff, but I don't think so. I think not. And then you got once like Doctor Strange, because a lot of people think that Doctor Strange in No Way Home is this Doctor Strange. And I'm like, if Black Widow could go, if the Watcher could put Black Widow that had nobody in her universe left into a one where Black Widow died, then why can't he put Strange in a universe where he has the love of his life, a universe where there is no Stephen Strange or whatever, or the perfect universe? And so I think that Strange that's watching over Killmonger and Armin Zola is going to like get angry, because he's like, he might eventually find out that Widow is in a different universe. And he's like, why can't the Watcher do that for me? And have, I don't know.
My thing is, I think if you're someone who got to the point where like you're Christina, was like the point of no return, basically, where no matter what, she's got to die, and you let a whole universe die for that. I don't think another universe's Christina would suffice for him. I think it would just be, especially when you get to the point where you're in this pocket dimension. Which I have a side question. Do you not eat? Do you not use the bathroom in this pocket? It's just he
don't have to. He absorbs so many.
Remember, he said, I have nothing. Life. I have nothing. He said that I have nothing but time. And I'm just like, oh God! Like,
he ate the demons. He ate that explosion.
Right.
He only ate nothing else
for a few lifetimes.
He ate enough.
Right.
Yes,
good.
Bro.
He's good.
But like this show, right? Because even though, like we said, we pre-rated it with our 8s and 8.5 around that realm, right? And we talked about how a couple episodes, and a 2, and we talked about how the episodes, some were really great and some were kind of meh, like you fell asleep on one.
I sure did.
And like it even though there was like some fluctuations, when I watched episode 9, seeing all these heroes come together, and then even like when they were put back in their places, you see T'Challa fighting with Peter Quill from that, that realm or whatever.
Ego. Yep.
Yeah. And then you had all these different universes, and Black Widow going back to one where the Black Widow died, and that's where she was. I was like, is that ours? But it wasn't. But I was like, oh, that's a cool little thing that they did. And seeing all these Easter eggs and how they wove everything together, it reminds me of like, there's been a lot of hate over these past few years about superhero movies and about Marvel, the Marvel movies in the theaters. And a lot of the hate that comes out are from these, I would say, elite, kind of uppity film directors and writers, right? Where they say it's not cinema, it's not movie, and it's one thing if you call it particular movies, but to group it as a whole, you're overgeneralizing. And I feel like there's ignorance in that statement, honestly. Yeah. And for me, watching this episode, I'm like, this property of what they've done, I'll call it the Kevin Feige Marvel that's happening, is like freaking poetry. It's legit freaking poetry. The way that they weave these things together, I feel like when you're watching and you're like, oh my goodness, we're thinking of the knot and what this means to us. Like when you like how you interpret each of these things that you see. It's just like when you had English class and you're reading Shakespeare, they're like, what did that make you think? Well, that made me think ABCXYZ, or when we refer to this other Shakespearean work. And I honestly feel like the properties are that poetic. Like what they've done has been to that level of, yes, it's got magic and fighting and superpowers and stuff, but it to its core is like legit freaking poetry. And I was like, damn, this show was really good. Like this Marvel stuff is like freaking really good.
It's an amazing time to be a comic book geek, bro. Like it is like
I love it. I'm living for it.
Like to be a nerd in general, like it's just crazy. Like, and it's only solidified since Endgame. Like since Endgame became the highest grossing movie of all time. You can't, like you said, you can't just say like each movie kind of like has their own subgenre within an overarching story. Like what got me into it was my first Marvel movie that got me into it was, I think I saw Iron Man with my parents, but I didn't even really realize it back then that was like considered like a comic book, because it felt so real and grounded. And then Winter Soldier really got me in there. I was like the fighting. I didn't even see the first Avengers. I saw that one, and that made me like, I'm sold.
Oh, wait, you said Avengers or
the first Avenger. I didn't even see the first Avenger, but I did see Winter Soldier, and that was like, yo, like this is like a espionage political drama thriller. Like it's like these movies have sub layers to it, and then it connect. It's just like, bro, like you can't hate on that. It's just smart. It's just genius. Like
serious question though. Do y'all still make your animal crackers fight?
Okay, this is gonna sound very dark.
Oh dear.
Jasmine has a whole coliseum and makes the
hold on.
Be like,
go
this.
ahead. Wait, hold on.
No.
Okay,
so okay, whenever I eat animal crackers,
gotta kill it one leg at a time. Oh, nigga.
Okay, whenever I eat animal crackers, right, I would go for the most complicated animal first, and then like if they have like the most legs or like appendages or whatever, right, and I would eat their, like I would chew up.
I knew it, yo. I
would chew off the feet.
Yeah, now you ain't got no legs, nigga.
Right. I would chew off the feet and the tails, and then leave the head last. And if they have a head with like ears, I'll put the ears around the head, and then
Jazz is showing her superiority.
Then I would eat the head, and then it'll just be the body left, and then I'll continue to another animal until it's like all just bodies.
Next, Mr.
And then that's when I'll eat the rest. Like I have to get rid of all the appendages first.
Yo, I didn't say that. We fight one leg at a time.
Okay, this is the thing though. Okay, it's your description of it that makes it very morbid. All right, because like if my aspect of animal crackers, I think of like more a nibbly thing. I'm not like, man, you can't walk anymore now because they ate your legs. It's more like, I'm nibble like all around and then eat the cookie. You know, that's my.
I don't even do that. Like I nibble until like all of them are just bodies. Like I have to get all of.
Wait, each of them. Wait, so hold on.
So like, okay, so like, say I have a whole box. You have a whole box of animal crackers, right? I will not eat the whole one cookie until every animal's like legs are gone. Like until every animal's legs in that box are gone, all of their heads are gone, all the ears are gone, all the tails are gone. And then it's just like all midsection. Like I have to have all midsection left.
In the room.
Right? Yeah, that's what.
I have to have all midsection left, and then I'll eat the rest. So that's all just regular cookies.
Okay. See, I was kind of with you until you said that. Like, because me, I'll nibble around the cookie, then eat the cookie. But I ain't saving it like, oh, I'm gonna get back to your legless behind after I eat all the legs of the other ones. I like that's.
She'd be walking around her room with all the heads on her desk, like, no.
I am. Yes.
Glorious purpose.
Okay. So like with Oreo cookies, right? Like so with Oreo cookies too, because I used to be fat when I was younger. All right. Now listen, I would get a paper towel, right? Okay. I never ate it like a normal kid. I always scrape off all the icing, right? And make of all the cookies that I ate, put all the icing into a pile, roll that icing into a ball, then eat
Okay.
the cookies
Oh,
like by itself, but then chew on the icing ball like individually.
yeah, I tried
Like-
it. I know exactly what I tried it. I couldn't do it. I tried to put all. I didn't make a ball. I put all the frosting off the cookies like it's like a little bowl.
You gotta roll it into a ball. That's how you gotta do
Too
it.
much sugar. I couldn't do it. And then,
And then after that, I just like nibble on that ball until like it's gone.
Jesus, girl, you
And I
Galactus.
thought,
You
right?
Galactus for real.
right? I thought I was a weird eater. Like there are things that I do, and my husband literally is like, "Why did I marry you?" Like when I eat, right?
we need
But
to see
I feel
where
like
Jazz
you on
are,
another
okay?
level, and that makes me feel less.
I do a
alone.
lot of weird shit that people don't do. Like,
We
okay,
need
so
to
like,
your nerd, okay?
like with biscuits and like with bread, right? Like mainly biscuits and like say like croissants, right? You know how like the bottom is like usually brown or like
A little
burnt.
harder. Yeah.
I always peel that off. I never eat the
That's
bottom.
not that weird, bro.
That's not bad. Yeah,
I never eat
like,
the bottoms of biscuits. I take that off, so it's just a soft biscuit.
I take
And
that out and I
then,
eat that separately.
I don't like
I'll
it. I
eat
ain't got time. I just eat it.
Yeah, I always peel it off before I even sit down. Like before I even sit down to enjoy the meal, I'm taking it off. And then like with fried chicken, I always take off the skin. And
What?
then I
Carter
always
would
take
love
off the
you.
skin.
Cartman, he'd
I
love
eat
you.
it.
Wait,
Like,
wait.
so like if I go to Popeyes, like especially Popeyes, take off the Popeye skin off the chicken, eat the chicken, then have the skin last.
Oh, I thought you just meant.
Oh wait, you eat
Okay,
it
never mind.
separately.
Yeah, I eat it
Yeah.
last. Like so that's the last thing
weird.
I have in my because I want to have like the best part of the chicken to be like my last taste. So like I would have the skin last so that I could have like that lasting
Here's
taste.
the thing.
I'm gonna
I can
sit
if
next
I
to my
eat the
therapist
skin
after this
like
'cause you
if I eat the skin, it has to be pieces of the skin, but with like before I finish the actual meat of the chicken. I can't eat the skin after because then I just feel shame. There's just absolute
I
shame
don't.
and
I
grief.
put some hot sauce
because
and
of
some honey on my chicken and out of
Okay,
there.
this is making me super hungry. All I've had
Dang
was breakfast. But like kind of go like closing remarks about the show, right? I'm going back to the show. It was the show is amazing. Like it kind of feeding back into the property. I am excited for what else is going to be coming and what else is going to be happening in the Marvel universe. And like the some of these particular episodes, like episode 2 with T'Challa and then the zombie episodes, brought me back to excitement I remember from Infinity War and the things that really made me really love this series. Hawkeye. I think Hawkeye might be my next favorite show of Marvel of the MCU TV things that they're coming out with.
Yeah, Disney Plus series. Why do you think
Why? Yeah.
I mean, it was I loved him in episode 8. We didn't give him enough time to shine, but he was dope.
Right.
He was super dope in episode 8. Like his arm and all the stuff he was doing
I
was
have
super
questions.
cool.
Why does he not have an arm? Like what happened? Where's his arm? And
that was part of their story, but they didn't have enough time to show it,
They didn't show it, yeah.
I do hope so. I'll answer your question, but before I do, I hope in season 2 we're gonna get more of these universes, like more of stories. Like it could be before the point or even after the point, and like where they were and how everything happened. I would love that. But to answer your question, because yes, part of it is the Christmas theme that they're having, and it's the holiday season and everything. It's Christmas in New York, which excites me. But because it's gonna be, I'm excited for the comedy. I always loved Hawkeye in the MCU. Like I always loved his story, his trajectory, even when he became the cold-blooded killer, like shing with the
Ronin.
sword and Ronin.
Yeah.
Yes. I was always a fan of his character. So to see him in his own show, I'm excited. And then I like Haley Steinfeld, and the fact that it does kind of give me a little bit of like a Die Hard type of Christmas type of feel. Especially when they're like, things aren't working out, and when she's trying to do stuff, it just seems like there's going to be comedy. I mean, I feel like it's going to be one of my favorites because I think the thing with Loki was great, but like when it came to the timelines thing and stuff, there was a lot of confusion for me where I'm like, okay. And then I didn't like how it ended specifically. Right. But kind of, WandaVision, everybody didn't like how that ended. And then Falcon and the Winter Soldier, everybody did not like how that ended. I do feel like the comedy might make the seemingly common tropes of the Disney Plus MCU shows more forgivable, in this situation. Like story development, character development is kind of like been poop in a lot of these series, right?
Mhm.
Outside of
Yeah.
What If, they kind of set that up, but
Yeah.
character development, people go from left to hella right without a proper trajectory where you can understand or feel or empathize with where they end up. And because we already know Hawkeye, it's going to be okay. And I'm hoping that we get growth and development from her. But if we don't get a lot of that, I think it'll be okay. Like, I can forgive most of it, I guess you can say. But it doesn't seem like you guys share the sentiment. So how do you feel about are you looking forward to it, or you don't?
Not really.
I personally have never really cared that much about Hawkeye, just to be honest. So that's why I'm just like, I'm gonna see it because like it's part of the shows, and I feel like I have to know what's going on in this to know what's going on with the other movies and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm watching it. But I have no expectations for the show whatsoever. They could show us all they want to show us in the trailers and stuff, make it look all good to hype us up, but it could end up being a disappointment. So I'm not even gonna have any expectations going into this. I'm just gonna go in and see how it is. Because we had a lot of expectations with we said we weren't gonna have expectations for Winter Soldier and Falcon, but we kind of did because we wanted to see a little bit more of Winter Soldier being like, Winter Soldier and like him being a savage, and that didn't happen. So I'm not even gonna have any expectations at all. Nothing. I just want to see how it's gonna go, basically.
Okay. Any closing thoughts, Dwayne?
Yeah, me too. I'm not gonna. I hold the movies at a different standard than the shows. I feel like for right now the shows could be, as far as like you said, character development. Like I wanted like some background on Falcon. Like what's up with them not giving us the background of these characters? Like I would love Falcon to see him actually have his first mission with the wings. And then it would have been a good jump cut to the future where he's fighting Backtrack. Like give us some of that. Like how we don't know how this man even like seemingly got his wings at all. We just heard about it. They talked about it. Here's a note. They talked about it. Like so, I want more character development. Hawkeye's first mission of him flinging his bow. Give us some. Make us truly care about these characters like you did with Steve Rogers, Iron Man. Like they gave us great development and gave us flashbacks, all type of stuff. So if you're gonna do that, and these are their shows, now that we are able to get these minor characters their show, give us some dang on background flashbacks, man. None of these people have flashbacks except WandaVision. Like that's the only one like that, and I think that's why everybody cared about WandaVision so much, is because we actually got to see what the characters feel, think. We got a little bit of that with Winter Soldier when he was in Wakanda. We didn't really get that much from Falcon at all. He really was like he was like, you're about to hurt my family. You didn't see him get angry or nothing like that. You would think he would, same thing, So I'm just gonna keep my mind open as far as Hawkeye. Hawkeye is not one of my favorite characters, but he might end up liking him more if they get some background on what he was doing as Ronin and how that's affected everything. So that's my closing remark.
Okay. Charlie, anything you want to say closing out?
Damn well.
Not about the show. No, not about the show, but just closing remarks.
Yeah, I just want to say this is definitely a very great show. I like this What If show, and I'm just glad we're talking about it. That was that's it.
Okay.
See, I did have something to say.
You did have something to say. I meant like in a general sense, but for those asking, we will be covering the Chucky show when that comes out.
That's when he's gonna be awake,
right?
Yes,
He's gonna
sir.
be like, "Oh, I seen it, and I'm gonna tell you all the lore. You got to see the last episode to watch the first episode."
He's gonna analyze everything we say about that show. He gonna be like, "No, you can't say that if you didn't watch this one."
No,
and if you didn't,
yeah, look. He already.
You can't think
this is not part of the continuity. See, it was a demon spirit named Sulu, and he had the power to. And you got to look at the whole background story behind the real first Chucky, because that's the second Chucky.
Exactly.
Is that right? That's funny. So we will be covering that, and since you guys said that Halloween's coming out on Peacock, I can watch that, and we can review. We'll do scary. Here's an idea I just thought of. All right, because Charlie, you're the horror king amongst us, right?
King, I love horror.
Well, amongst us, right? So what would be the scariest movie? I feel like I should not have said this. Scariest movie
Why?
you can suggest?
See, but it depends because if you watch it now, I don't think it's scary. Because me, when I was growing up, it was evil. It was part 1 of Evil Dead. That shit scared the snot out of me. But watching it now, it still kind of gives me, but I just love it.
Funnier. It's
It's really
funnier.
hard. Yeah, it's hard to get like really scared. And we know that it's fake.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say. It just depends on if you're gonna go at it with that mindset of like, oh, this I can see this, blah blah blah, this is all wrong. Then it won't. But at the time of me watching it, it was so good. I did just find this genre. It's a genre called found footage. I didn't know that was a genre of like old
VHS, right?
I need to watch that one. Yeah, I need to watch that one too. The new one that just came out, I need to watch that one. But it's a whole genre. So I just be watching hella found footage.
That's like that Blair Witch thing, right? Like
yeah.
Those type of movies. I love them though. I've been watching the show of those.
I'm trying to, because I was thinking of like a movie we could throw in this month to try to watch, and like, because it could be one that, I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys have probably seen it that I have not. I have not seen VHS. I have not seen.
The first one was so good.
I need to watch it.
Left 4 Dead. What's the movie?
Yes, Rec. Yo, filmmaker, yeah, and I like Rec because Rec was the original because Quarantine was the American, right? Rec,
Rec was good.
Rec was good. Quarantine was good.
Yeah,
that was fire.
When you said Quarantine, I was like, oh, like from COVID.
They're both basically the same movie.
It is.
They're both the same movie. One is in Spanish and one is an American English remake. Yeah,
was our version of it. But which was
okay? What's the scariest movie you could suggest that like I can watch for us to do for the sake of this thing? Even if you've seen it before, because you guys could just rewatch it and we can like talk about it. But, like
the original Exorcist did, but it takes too long to get good.
The original Exorcist.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh, no, I seen
it. They take real long to get good, but yeah.
I watched it like a couple years ago, and I was like, "Oh, this is okay." It really wasn't that bad. It was just weird.
It's one of the ones
what she did. I was like, "Okay, chick, calm down now."
Yeah, it's one of the ones you gotta pay attention to everything, and then you'll start understanding and scared. But it takes too long to get to it. Dang, what's up? Hey yo, Rob, I like a lot of Rob Zombie movies, bro. I love a lot of his movies. I didn't care for his that much, but.
Dawn of the Dead. It's not really scary, but it's I love Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead is such a great movie, bro.
It's so good.
I used to watch those like back to back. I love those. I just watched Dawn of the Dead again like last month too. Hella random.
So y'all have no suggestion?
Listen, we're gonna come up with a list because Netflix has a whole bunch of bangers they coming out with that I've just recently.
Yeah.
Because last year they said they was gonna put more money into horror, and I thought it was cap, but they really are. They have
they just dropped this thing called Midnight Mass.
Midnight Mass, yeah.
You's coming back. You's coming back out October 15th.
Wait for you.
So we can talk about You. Have you seen You, Christine?
I saw the first episode because that's my bae from Gossip Girl. Okay, so I saw the first episode. Awesome. But then I just never got back to it. It was just timing.
We'll get back to that. Watch You before it comes out. You gotta watch You. That's your homework assignment.
All right.
You season 1 and 2 and 3 is October 15th. We can talk about it because You is fire. You is fire. This month. Yeah, this month.
Like next week.
Like 9 days.
Coming out.
If it's the 15th, 9 days.
Yes. Oh my God.
All right. So I have my homework assignment. We will catch you with more horror stuff. Stay tuned on the socials and keep your eye tuned to what we've got going on. Normally I do my whole, but I am starving. So y'all know where to find us. In other episodes, we'll repeat where to find us, but y'all can find us where you find us because y'all here. Obviously, you found us somewhere. But thank you for coming. We appreciate you, and we out.
Toodles.
I know some people talking about this, but that is